Everyone, how's everyone doing? Jonathan Mathis here. The Warriors are only one win away from winning another NBA championship. You know, this team once again has that championship DNA. They know what it takes to be on this big stage. And even though their superstar didn't play his best, and you know, illustrated that he's only human, you know, because of course Steph Curry is only human, even though sometimes it seems like he's from another planet. He didn't have his best performance tonight. The guy who showed up and the guy who was huge for Golden State tonight was Andrew Wiggins. And this speaks to the fact that a player can improve if you know if his career is not what most of us expect it to be from the start, because this is a guy who didn't amount to anything really early in his career. This is a guy who really didn't live up to the hype that surrounded him. But he has found a home in Golden State. He has embraced his role. And there's some nights throughout these playoffs that he has looked like a superstar. Andrew Wiggins has been that superstar, and if you allow a player to grow, to mature, to develop, he can emerge into this full-fledged superstar that you've seen lately. Andrew Wiggins was spectacular tonight. And he was dominant on both ends of the floor. Without his presence, I'm not sure the Golden State Warriors win this game. I'm not so sure. Because he was that one player who stepped up for them. And Curry didn't have to be at his best tonight because his teammates had his back. Draymond Green even got off to a good start in this game. Draymond Green was more aggressive. He was more physical. He was even scoring points. He 8 points is better than 2 points. So he was scoring a little bit. But what I liked about Draymond Green tonight was his approach. I liked the fact that he was facilitating the offense. If you're not going to score a lot of points, at least, help out in other facets of the game. And he did that. He was sensational early on. The Warriors are just one win away after a 104-94 win over the Boston Celtics. And we could say a lot about the Boston Celtics too. This defensive effort of theirs went to waste, sadly to say. It went to waste. They were putting a lot of pressure on Steph Curry early. They was making it very difficult for him to score. They frustrated him. They pestered him. They made him work for his shots. He wasn't able to really score a lot of points. In fact, I think he was 0 for 9 from beyond the arc. That's not like Steph Curry. I expect him to bounce back in a huge way in Boston. But what you saw was a Celtics team in the first half particularly impose their will, size, and physicality on this Warriors team. They just didn't manage to hold on. And what was so amazing about this game was the fact that Boston did their best imitation of Golden State in that third quarter. we often what has often defined this postseason for the Warriors, the Celtics were able to mimic that in the third quarter because they were the ones that took control of the third quarter. I think they had a 35-point outburst in the third quarter. So they were able to control the tempo, kind of control the pace, and they looked like they were, you know, gonna take off in that fourth quarter. But I still believe this. Jason Tatum is not that fourth quarter finisher. And they're gonna need him to be that fourth quarter finisher if they want to win this series. Someone is gonna have to show up for the Celtics team in the fourth quarter. Someone's gonna have to. Someone's gonna have to be that closer for them in the fourth quarter and be able to knock down shots. There was one point in the game in the fourth quarter where Jason Tatum went to the free throw line, blew both free throws, missed them both. You know, unacceptable for someone who is labeled a superstar. You know, and we use that word so loosely, but Jason Tatum has had an impact on his team, but he hasn't really played like a superstar in this series. But back to Andrew Wiggins, man. This guy looked like MVP Steph Curry tonight. He has evolved into a superb off-ball cutter and finisher. He definitely has the versatility. He definitely brought the energy in tonight's game. And you are seeing a player who has reinvented himself. You know, versatile defense, incredible shot making, great awareness, the physicality that he brings, the energy that he brings. You know, it was a huge factor for this Warriors team tonight. He was doing it all on both ends of the floor. And the Warriors took complete control in the fourth quarter. They basically owned the fourth quarter. And then you saw the emphatic one-handed dunk from Andrew Wiggins late in the game that pretty much put the icing on the cake. You know, and I mean, the rooftop at Chase Center just nearly blew off after that. That place was so deafening. It was so loud in there. You know, you could probably feel the whole stadium rattle. I mean, that's how crazy it was. And those fans were on their feet after, you know, he levitated and he finished above the rim. It was just incredible to watch. What hurt the Celtics also was selfish one-player play. You can't win ball games like that. 18 turnovers. That's been the theme for them in the playoffs. Too many damn turnovers. They got to do a better job taking care of the basketball. The defense was on point. The defense was solid, you know, but you can't turn over the ball and give the Warriors an advantage because they will capitalize on those mistakes and those turnovers. And you saw that created better opportunities for a guy like Andrew Wiggins, you know. But they blew a big lead. They had a nice lead. They blew their lead away like a mom blowing out a baby's, you know, birthday candle. I mean, that pretty much says it all right there. You know, so, I mean, the Celtics, man, they're going to have to try it again at home. They're going to have to. The problem with the Celtics team, for me, is that they're too inconsistent for me. They're too inconsistent. You know, you have to show up in games like this. You have to play with better effort. You have to, you know, take care of the basketball. And that's been a big, big concern for them. That's been a huge issue for them. It's taking care of the basketball, you know, and making shots down the stretch. You know, and I mean, you know, everyone talked about the Celtics defense, and that's no knock on their defense, but the Warriors have held them to less than 100 3 times in this series. So that says a lot. And Andrew Wiggins, he finished the game with 26 points. Clay added 21. Steph had 16. You know, Gary Payton II had 15. Jordan Poole had 14. So you have several players in double figures. You know, and Andrew Wiggins was the player of the game, obviously. Clearly the player of the game. So the Boston Celtics will be able to try it once more back at home. It is do or die on Thursday in Boston. I'll see you guys in my next video. Be sure to subscribe to this video, like this video, give this video a thumbs up. Thank you guys so much. See you guys in my next video.